we are in the midst of a cost of living crisis. Surely you have the responsibility to do something to help people. You can't wait until somebody...
No, of course not. Of course, I mean, you're completely right. And so I think it's crucial to understand that, first of all, we realised for a long time that things were going to be tough, and that's why we put in place a lot of measures already. The money has started to come through. I think it's very important for people to understand. Most people have not yet received the help that the government has already allocated. So over the course of the next couple of months, you're going to see about 8 million households get another £326. You're going to see everybody in October get help with the energy support scheme, and that was £400 for... I just think it's important to address. I think people haven't seen the money come in, and it is coming.
Yeah, okay.
Let me just finish. Another £400 to help everybody, plus £150 to help 1 in 10 who are disabled. They haven't seen that yet. It is coming in. But there are two key pinch points, and there are other funds coming in. £300 to help pensioners in
but
November.
Are you going to say the choice is eat or eat for millions of people?
On top of the winter fuel payments. So there are two pinch points ahead, and they are in October and in the new year, in December, January. And so I'm describing the cash that's already coming through, and it's already...
Do you think it's enough?
No, because what I'm saying is what we're doing in addition is trying to make sure that by October, by January, there is further support. And what the government will be doing, whoever is the Prime Minister, is making sure there is extra cash to help people. Is it too late to be waiting for
the few people? Because shouldn't you get the two contenders in a room with you refereeing to act now? Because people are watching this. They want the Conservative government to do something because the Straits are desperate.
And that's why I'm explaining that the cash is not only coming through now and has started to come through, but will continue to come through over the weeks and months ahead.
But they can say it's not enough. It's not enough.
And in addition, what we are doing is making sure that we have the fiscal firepower, we have the cash to help people more at those two key points, in October and in January. So whoever it is, whether it's a man or a woman, you're going to find that the new leader, the new Prime Minister, is going to be making sure...
And then, right now.
Yes, I know. I don't think, with great respect, you've been listening, because cash is not only coming in right now, but more is already due to come through. What we're talking about is extra cash for October and then for January. But what you've fundamentally got to do is make sure that you do some things to fix the energy markets, and that's what we were doing yesterday. To make sure.
What did you get from that?
Well, you have to wait and see. But I'm encouraged by some of the things that we're seeing from energy companies about more they can do to help consumers with staggering the payments, with making sure that some of the renewable companies and the nuclear companies, for instance, are making quite a lot of money at the moment. They could do more, we think, to help their customers. The other thing you need to do is make sure that we undo the mistakes of the past and have not just go for hydrocarbons, our own hydrocarbons in the North Sea. And again, we gave clear commitments to those companies. They need to get on and
But do you really understand how people feel? Because people haven't got any money.
And then what you also need to do is ensure that you undo the tragic mistakes of the past and have nuclear capacity. And what this government is doing is now green-lighting nuclear energy when for the whole of the period of the Labour government, not a single nuclear power plant was started or commissioned. So we are doing stuff in the short term, in the medium term, and in the long term. And if you ask, what we're doing, here, let me just tell you, what we've done is thanks to the decisions that this government took. We have a robust economic situation in which actually we have virtually record low unemployment. Here at Broughton in North Wales, you've got an amazing company, employs about 5,000 people. Do you know they've come out of this pandemic in a position where they are actually able to increase their output of wings by 50% in the next couple of years.
Hang on,
I'm going to make the final point, which is going to drive jobs and growth for the future. And that will enable us, that will put us in a strong position to continue to do what we've done throughout the pandemic and beyond, which is to find the cash to help people in the way that this government has done. We're putting, let me repeat, we're putting 37 billion in now. That money will continue to arrive in the course of the weeks and months. There will be more announcements in September, and those will address the key pinch points in October and in January.
Just one final question in Wales. You know, the blue wall seats. Do you feel you've let them down? Because there hasn't been much levelling up.
On the contrary, if you look at what's happened in Wales alone, it's been an era of fantastic investment in infrastructure. Look at what we're doing with the A55, look what we're doing with the North Wales Railway. I was just not long ago at a place called Penmaen Mawr, where we're looking at improvements to the station there. I think there are another 600 police here in Wales than there were before I became Prime Minister. You're seeing colossal investments, as I say, just in this factory here in Bournemouth. Half of the airline passenger wings in the world are made. It's a fantastic thing. I'm glad you said that. It's a fantastic thing. The mood is lightning here in.
You don't feel that Wales down. You don't feel that Wales down.
And what is also happening is that thanks to the support that this government gave the airline industry during a very difficult time, £8 billion we put in. They're now coming out of it in a strong position, and this incredible factory, many of whose workers live in Wales, are going to be increasing their output by 50% to 2025. That's an amazing story, and it's because of that robust economic success that we are in a position to help people as we've helped them throughout the pandemic. We have the cash, we have the fiscal firepower to do it, whether you use more cash payments, whether you do it through universal credit. There will be a mixture of things that we will do.
So people don't need to worry then?
We will continue to do that. Let me just see, everybody can see Putin's war in Ukraine has triggered global energy spikes. And nobody is going to pretend that the situation is anything other than very, very tough. But medium term, long term, we are in a very, very strong position. And we will continue to find more and more renewable energy. We're going to get a 50 gigawatts of wind by 2030. We're already one of the largest producers of offshore wind in the world. Offshore wind is now cheaper in this country than onshore wind. We're going to be building a nuclear reactor every year rather than one every decade. We will fix our energy problems. And so I think, yes, of course, people are finding it tough now. I understand that. But that's why we're helping them with everything that we can do fiscally, helping them with the tax system, helping them with benefits, helping them with grants. But over the long term, the energy problems of this country will start to improve, basically because we've taken the long-term decisions that were necessary. And I'm very, very proud of them. I'm proud that we've rectified some of the mistakes of the previous Labour administration. It was a bit much hearing from the current Labour leader, Gordon Brown, saying that whatever he said, who was in power when they failed to build those nuclear reactors? It was those guys.
Are you going to be answering Mr. Sunak's calls?
What?
He's been texting you, trying to get in touch with you.
I'm looking forward to I think that's one of those Westminster questions that doesn't change the price of fish. And there are plenty of things that do change the price of fish, not least the price of energy, but that is not one of them. And the price of energy we are going to bring down by investment in British supply, in renewables, in nuclear, and all the other things. I'm not going to pretend that things are easy for people right now. You're right to push me, and because we're doing everything that we can. But there's more money coming. There's more money coming anyway as a result of the decisions we've taken. There will be further help coming October and in the new year. I think over the medium term, the future is very bright.